Welcome to A Home That Heals. I'm Bree, and this is my mom, Dee, and we are so excited to be here with you. Thank you for following along on our journey. If you have not subscribed already, we encourage you to, because we are all about finding healthy, wonderful, God-given ways to bless our families, to heal our homes, to heal our land eventually, because that is what we are in desperate need of in these times. Lately on our podcast, which if you haven't checked that out, we encourage you to check out A Home That Heals. It's on all major platforms. And we've been talking about multi-generational living.
And it struck a chord. We've been amazed how many of you have been responding to this idea.
We've gotten lots of questions. We've talked about the many benefits, just in raising children and in doing life together. We love this lifestyle. We've made it work. God has given us just blessing upon blessing, and we want to share those with you. But before we get too much further, we just have to make you stop and really consider multi-generational living, because you are going to be blown away with what we share today.
Now, she's teased me with this too, because she's been working on something. I don't know exactly what it is, but she said, Mom, you aren't going to believe what I've discovered. And so I'm as curious as you are. Where are we going with this today?
Well, the reason I have not shared this with you before is because, you guys, I'm a little concerned that she's going to ask me for a paycheck, and I'm talking a big paycheck, because she is going to realize how much money she has saved me in the last, 10 plus years that we have been living together. And living in this multi-generational lifestyle. We haven't been living under the same roof per se. And so
pretty darn close.
Pretty darn close.
Next door would be a way to describe it. Probably the furthest apart we've been is right now, but we're still right on the same acreage, and it's pretty close.
It is pretty close. And we'll put some links if you want to check out our story of how we came to this lifestyle of multi-generational living. But today we really, and actually what caused me to think about talking with you, our friends, about this was something you brought up to me the other day. You were doing some research on areas that are called blue zones.
Right. Yeah. I've been fascinated by this since years ago when I was still in television news. I did a story and aired a story on blue zones. And these are areas in the world, like 6 or 7 areas in the world where people live longer, happier, kids are raised in a better mental state. And it just seems like there's something almost magical about where they live. And so there's been a lot of research done on it. There's a book on it. There's a website, bluezones.com, you might want to check out because it's pretty interesting. But these are areas where, you can look at diet, you can look at climate, you can look at those things as maybe, real big factors. But a big factor is multi-generational living. And so is that what you're saying kind of spurred you on this?
It is, because I thought, not enough people are talking about this. Yet I hear so many families that are struggling. They are struggling just like you and I when we go to the grocery store and eggs are 3 times the cost of what they used to be, and are to fill up our tanks with gas and to buy meat. And just to do all of these things, it costs more and more, and our wages aren't going up a whole lot more and more.
Childcare.
That's what I'm going to start with. Yes. Childcare. Number one thing that I saved hundreds of thousands on. Because
hundreds of thousands.
I know. See, she's got, this is not good. I'm helping you all. I am not helping myself. This is selfless right here. Over the last 10 plus years, and again, you guys, I have not been keeping track since the day we moved in together. I have been keeping track. I can't even remember, exactly when I started doing this, but I just thought it'd be interesting to keep track of, the little ways we were saving money. And so back then, I looked at what average childcare was in my area, and I started keeping track. And over the course of our multi-generational living together, I have saved over $300,000.
Oh my goodness.
Not to mention, if you're watching this and you live somewhere other than Idaho, you live in California, or I don't know, on the East Coast, this number might be double, triple what it is for us here. So daycare, $300,000.
Wow.
Food, I started keeping track of food.
Whoa.
Not all the nitty gritty, but just some of the things.
Yeah.
Because we help each other by, we cook a meal. If I cook a meal for my family of 6, I just add 2 more. That doesn't cost a whole lot more for me. Honestly, I don't even think I usually, up the recipe, because just generally speaking, I have enough for 2 more people. And
we don't eat very much. Not.
and I share it with you. Same with you.
Yeah.
I think when you're cooking for you and Dad, you just add 6 more onto there. Not a whole lot more.
No big deal. No big deal at all.
I conservatively have figured we saved over $100,000.
Oh my goodness, honey. I think you're going to have to show me those figures. That's amazing.
I will. I have a spreadsheet. So going back to just other things I thought about, we buy in bulk a lot, whether it's our landscaping or our food like beef and chicken. We have done that. And I just started working on the numbers. Over 150,000.
So is that's separate from the other food that you've mentioned already?
That's just buying in bulk for different things.
Wow.
Because we've been able to do that because we either were living on the same property right next to each other, or right now we're on 5 acres. And so the other day we bought bark and we bought it in bulk. So we got a better price for it versus just buying, a yard or 2.
Oh, that's so true.
So it is amazing how often we do that. Then you look at big ticket items. This is a huge saver for our family. Our truck. We have 1 truck. A truck is really vital, especially for us. We have this little mini farm that we are, expanding, and we've always needed a truck, but not 2 trucks,
Yeah.
and trucks take up a lot of gas. So it's really nice when we only have to utilize that truck. And even sometimes my husband, instead of driving the truck, will drive your car to save on gas because he's going further into town. Yeah. And so I didn't even figure out gas. I don't know how, much we saved just by utilizing it that way. But things like our lawnmower, tools, trailer. We have a trailer, to haul different things. All those items that, yes, sometimes if you have them in a family, we'll also, we'll borrow my husband's grandpa's trailer, but it's more difficult to use and borrow and do all of that because he's across town. When you're living together in a similar environment and you kind of know each other's schedules and you know how things are going, sharing big items like that is way more doable. So, well, if you total that all up, you guys, we're talking over $500,000. I mean, that is huge.
Wow, cool.
Well, I hope these numbers have caused you to just pause and think about multi-generational living for your family. If you are struggling right now financially and you're trying to figure out how are we going to make this work, just consider it. And it might be with your in-laws. It might be with your parents. It might be with another family member or friends. It can look a lot of different ways. A lot of these ways that we saved money were because we were on the same property and we were really close to each other. But some of it was just because we banded together. And so even if living on the same property isn't an option, multi-generational living, that is a really hard word to say. Can I tell you? Is possible. Yeah. It is possible. So consider it. We're going to do some follow-up videos on what Mom was just talking about, because we do believe there are at least 3 principles you really should consider before you start this lifestyle. And I hope that you can learn from our mistakes and from the things that went well and went right in our life as we started this journey, because we hope it could be a blessing for you as well. If this video helped you in any way, encouraged you, please subscribe to our channel. We're going to be sharing more about that. We're also going to be sharing more about how we create a home that heals for our children and for our family. And we would love for you to come along with us. If you just thought of somebody that you would like to partner with,
that's right,
and live next to,
send them a little reminder.
Yes.
Yeah, subscribe and share. We love to see that happening because we really do believe in the things we talk about here on A Home That Heals, because we've experienced them and we know that God wants to provide, and He has a creative, our God is a creative God, and He gives us creative ways to solve problems and to live life abundantly.